What is up, guys? It's Francis the instructor back with Get Licensed for another video, and today I want to talk about appropriate speed. So the reason I really wanted to make this video, something happened to me recently and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I was driving down the road, normal speed. A car cuts in front of me. Okay, that's fine. I should have had priority at that junction, but I'm not the police, so I'll let them go. And then they drive in front of me at about 10 miles an hour down the 20 road. This road's got minimal amount of hazards. You could see all the way down it. So 10 miles an hour was not an appropriate speed. I'm late, so I want to drive at the appropriate speed, at the proper speed. I want to go at about 20 miles an hour. I'm not going to sit behind this car at 10 miles an hour. I overtake it and drive off. Then the car chases me down the road. Blue lights come on. It's an undercover police car, and they pull me over and they say, "What did you overtake me for?" I said, "Well, you weren't driving at an appropriate speed and I'm late and I need to get where I'm going." And he said, "Well, I was the lead road user. I should have had priority on that road. You had no right to overtake me." So I did a little bit of education. Probably shouldn't have done, but I let him know that he cut in front of me, which wasn't appropriate because I had priority at that situation and he wasn't driving at the appropriate speed. Now, I teach people why it's so important to drive at the appropriate speed and not drive too fast or too slowly. He wasn't paying me, so he didn't get the full lesson. But let's talk about it today because I want to educate you guys and help you with the same situation. So let's think about that. If we drive too slowly, what's the problems that it causes to other road users? So if I drive too slowly, then the car behind me is going to get really annoyed, pissed off, angry, and drive more dangerously and erratically. If I take a turn, they're going to be following me too closely. If I slam my brakes on because there's a hazard in front of me, they're going to be too close behind me and potentially hit me from behind. I don't want that to happen to you guys, to me, to anybody. What else could be the problem? Okay, the car behind me is getting so frustrated because I've driven for so long. Slowly, they're going to overtake. That's going to put me and them in a dangerous situation. We don't want to overtake on small roads. If there's multiple lanes, then it could be safer to overtake. But on a normal road, a road with one lane, a single carriageway going either way, it's not usually very safe to overtake. There's lots of pedestrians, there's lots of hazards. So if I force someone into making an overtake to do the appropriate speed, not only is that going to affect your driving test because they will mark you down for going too slowly as well as too fast, it's also going to put us both in a dangerous situation, which we don't want. So driving too slowly is as bad as driving too fast. Imagine if everybody drove really, really, really slowly all the time. Imagine how much more traffic we would have. Why do you think they mark you down for driving too slowly on your driving test? It's not safer because you're not the only person on the road. Other people are on the road. And what do we use a car for? We use a car as an efficient method and means of transport. So if you're not using it as an efficient means of transport, other people are going to get annoyed with you. We don't want to do that because there's enough road rage and annoyance and anger in London already. We just want to help everyone get along together on the road. So let's think about what makes an appropriate speed. Let's analyze the risk and level of hazard on the road. What makes a road more hazardous? Parked cars, pedestrians, other road users, if it's narrow, if it's built up and there's a school around, or anything that could mean that vulnerable people are walking around. A town centre, busy town centre, is going to be more hazardous and have a high level of risk than, let's say, rural country road where I can see all the way down it. That's another one. Can I see all the way down the road? If no, then something could be around the next corner that you can't see. The narrower the road, the slower you should be going. I use the saying, less space, less speed. Other people use other sayings. I've heard some really good ones on Facebook lately. Drop your pace or lose your face. The smaller the gap, the slower the speed. Okay, that one's good. It's not that funny. Less space, less pace. Great. Sums it up nicely. No room, no zoom. Great. The rhyming ones are the best because they stick in your head and they help you remember. The narrower your road is, the slower you need to go. Reason being, you're driving and your steering is less accurate the faster you're going. It makes sense, right? That's why motorway lanes are wide. You wouldn't have a tight lane on a motorway because you're going at 70 miles an hour. That would be silly. Other things that make your road hazardous, how busy is it? If it's busier, obviously we need to drive slowly, but you need to be driving at an appropriate speed. If your road speed is 50 miles an hour and you've got a little old lady driving at 20 miles an hour, imagine, don't be that person. Don't be that person driving at 20 miles an hour. Don't be that police car behind a driving instructor that's doing something silly, that's gonna get a lecture after he pulls over a driving instructor. That's the moral of the story. Take care, guys. Drive safe. See you in the next video.